Welcome back. My name is Ken and I'm one of the founders at Newsletter Hero. Today I'm going to show you how I make a newsletter, how to very simply create a newsletter from scratch with your profile set up. So you just click here. This is the newsletter section. You're in newsletter mode. If you wanted to produce a podcast, you could go to podcast mode. So what happens in podcast mode is we do all the timestamps and we break everything out into a summary. That's very useful for me, particularly with my podcasts. But right now we are focusing on a newsletter. So I'm going to go in. Let's do this video that I produced last week. And I can basically just copy and paste in a source right there. I can also copy and paste in or use a bunch of different sources. So text documents, PDFs, web URLs. We can also do RSS feeds if you have one connected, which is very useful for writing newsletters from your past newsletters or news resources that you like to pull from. So, but for right now, we're just going to do one based off of this. You can add up to 5 input sources. We're experimenting with doing some more, but to be perfectly honest, very few people have added more than 3 or 4 sources. So we're going to stick with that for now. Right now, we can also do quick settings. So you can change the length. Let's say I wanted this to be a little longer or shorter. I can turn off my my profile preferences. So in the last video, I talked about how you can set up your newsletter profile to make it very specific to each article you write. So it maintains the same style and the same format. But if, let's say, you wanted to write a blog post and use our tool as well, you could turn that off and add some additional context here as well. If you want to focus on a specific thing during the newsletter, if you want to leave something out, whatever it might be, you can write something in here. So maybe I'll say like, I want to focus on, the challenges building a software product rather than the highlights, right? So going in, we can now, we'll cancel this one, and then we can create our newsletter. So very simply, in right around a minute here, this will produce our newsletter for us. It will be in the same format of this newsletter profile that we set up before. It'll be directly from the YouTube link that I pasted in. You also can connect your YouTube channel, so you can make it essentially way easier for you to just click and go through rather than having to copy and paste in things. What I like to do is I'll usually select one of my YouTube videos and I'll provide a couple secondary links that are not from me, and I will cite them in the newsletter to make sure other people are knowing that not all this information is coming from me. And then we basically can go in and generate it from that. So as you see, this is the Product Builders Marketing Wake Up Call. And then it goes into like the intro. I have the same intro in every one, just a little teaser for each of the sections. This week's signal, so the builder's blind spot. Again, this does a really good job of writing in my voice, focusing on the relevancy of each section. And I can effectively just copy and paste this into my template and send it out ready to go. Thank you so much for watching. The next video you'll see is on subject lines.